Tēnā koutou. Ko Julie Bellingham tōku ingoa, no ingarangi o ko tupuna ke pahuhui a hou I noho ana. Ko te kōpapa mo tēnei rā ko te Manaakitanga. Hei aha Manaakitanga. Manaakitanga has been labelled as one of the cornerstones of a Māori worldview, forming the basis of all well-intentioned human interaction. Ko te mihi nui kia kaha ko te manaaki I tū tangata. The most important thing is to be able to manaaki others. I first came across the word Manaakitanga in the education setting. There are a number of schools that have Manaakitanga as one of their values, and I have heard it be translated as showing respect and being hospitable. The Māori dictionary defines Manaakitanga as hospitality, kindness, generosity, support, the process of showing respect, generosity, and care for others. In this kōrero, I am going to take a closer look at the definition of Manaakitanga, linking this value to a te ao Māori worldview and highlighting the connections Manaakitanga has with mana, aroha, and whanaungatanga. Often concepts in te reo Māori do not translate simply into English. John Tamahere has noted that Manaakitanga is a concept that has been appropriated within mainstream narrative, but often through a much simpler representation of a Māori value that in fact has an elaborate and weighty whakapapa. To more fully understand the concept, we need to understand the whakapapa of the word. The meaning of manaaki lies in its root words, mana and aki. Mana refers to one's power, influence, authority, and control. To aki is to encourage and to support. Taking this into consideration, Roa and Tuapiki have stated that Manaakitanga is to encourage and support one's mana regardless of their status. This definition of Manaakitanga highlights a Māori worldview that recognises that every person has mana. Pere notes that the most important form of mana is mana atua, which is defined as the enduring, indestructible power of the atua inherited at birth. This form of mana recognises and acknowledges the uniqueness of each individual. According to the Māori dictionary, almost every activity has a link with the maintenance and enhancement of mana and tapu. In demonstrating Manaakitanga, the mana of others is recognised, elevated, or enhanced. When we express Manaakitanga, we give mana to the other person, mana ki tangata. What does Manaakitanga look like in our interactions? As mentioned earlier, a key way that we can demonstrate Manaakitanga is through hospitality, kindness, and generosity. We have both an individual and a collective responsibility to nurture and foster relationships through acts such as welcoming people into our homes, providing kai, creating a caring environment, and being tuned into the needs of others. Cassie Hart notes that our intention behind our actions are important. She states that whether you offer a cup of tea or a 3-course meal, it's not about the amount so much as the offering and intent behind it. At all times, Manaakitanga is seen in demonstrating respect for another human being, acknowledging their individuality and identity. On a marae, Manaakitanga is welcoming guests and making them feel at home. According to Dr. Valent Smith from AUT, the mana of a marae depends on their ability to host guests. And he adds that the manuhere's perception of the marae depends on how well they are looked after. In a classroom setting, Manaakitanga might look like welcoming new people to the class, listening respectfully when others are talking, showing kindness to classmates, and helping out where needed. Manaakitanga always adds value and never takes away. Here are 3 questions that are important for living according to the principles of Manaakitanga. Tuatahi, whose mana am I encouraging? Tuarua, am I elevating others with my words or actions? And tuatoru, how can I best address the needs of the individual or the people so that those people or individuals are in a state of order? These questions highlight that aroha is integral to Manaakitanga. Aroha is often defined as unconditional love and includes respect, compassion, empathy, humility, and affection. If we look deeper at the word, aroha comes from the word aro, to face towards others, while ha is to breathe and is often referred to as the life force. Caring, sharing, and respect are behaviors that both aroha and Manaakitanga have in common. Both Manaakitanga and aroha connect people and determine what those interactions will look like. In both of these cases, we would expect to see someone acting in the best interest of others. Manaakitanga also highlights the idea of reciprocity. He aroha whakatau, he aroha puta mai. When you sow kindness, you will receive kindness in return. Kasiha notes that those on the receiving end of Manaakitanga, in return, respect our customs and homes and enhance our mana. When you recognize the pre-existing mana that resides in those around you, that simultaneously elevates your mana. Mana ki atu, mana ki mai. Maintaining my mana is dependent on recognizing yours. So Manaakitanga is about the balance between those in the relationship, whether it might be two individuals or two iwi. Another whakatauki that captures the meaning of Manaakitanga is e koe koe te tui, e kete kete te kaka, e ku ku te kereru. The tui squawks, the kaka chatters, the kereru coos. So this has been translated to mean it takes all kinds of people. This whakatauki is about acceptance and non-judgment. Alda notes that the bird call can be thought of as the bird's identity. Similar to variety in the bird calls, we have many differences, including the way we speak, the way we look, and the way we live. But at the same time, we're all human. Alda asks, how can we be more like birds coexisting in the bush? This whakatauki highlights that regardless of our differences, each person carries mana and has their own identity. Our responsibility is to encourage and grow this mana in others through Manaakitanga. When we show Manaaki to others, we demonstrate acceptance and kindness. We help to create caring communities where people feel safe to talk openly with listeners who are truly hearing. My last point is that Manaakitanga provides the foundation for and is integral to whanaungatanga. Whanaungatanga comes from the word whānau, or family, and is about building a sense of family connection. Bishop describes whanaungatanga as the nurturing of relationships through care, connection, common understandings, and shared obligations. Whanaungatanga has also been described as the glue that brings Māori together and the basic cement that holds things Māori together. Care and connection are common factors in Manaakitanga and whanaungatanga. When we show Manaakitanga, individuals, whānau, and groups know that they are valued, and that they are in the company of people who respect them, care for them, and are kind. This creates the right context to build relationships and make connections. In an education setting, whanaungatanga is important in creating a sense of belonging and developing relationships to the point that students can learn from each other and work towards a common purpose. However, whanaungatanga in the class is difficult, if not impossible, if Manaakitanga has not been demonstrated. Ko te mūtanga tēnei o aku whakaaro mō te Manaakitanga. To conclude, Manaakitanga is integral to relationships and creates possibilities for whanaungatanga. While Manaakitanga is about demonstrating hospitality and respect, it is also about uplifting and encouraging the mana of others and showing aroha. We can see from a closer look at Manaakitanga that these values do not operate in silos, but combine and interact with each other. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, Māori ora kia tātou katoa.